Casey Harris.
Hope you guys don't mind if I move this way. I'm kind of like walkers, I walk around and talk and all that stuff. Okay. When people say, do what you love, I think that's kind of bad advice. I mean, let's be completely honest here, right? When you hear the phrase, do what you love, it always seems like something's missing, right? I don't know about you guys, but when I hear the phrase, do what you love, I always think, well, if, or then, or do what you love, and it's always as though there's a little bit of truth to that message that's missing. As though when people give me that advice, I'm not really seeing the whole picture. So I think I found somewhat of an answer to this. And today, I'd kind of like to think out loud with you guys and talk about my journey as a public speaker and how I've come to maybe not do what I love or be able to dislike what I love, if you get what I mean. But let's get into that a little bit more. So about a year ago, I decided I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be a life coach. I want to do this, right? And my parents were like, what? Right? And so they would ask me about it. And I also hear this from adults a lot too, right? They say, well, what do you want to do? And I say, well, I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be a life coach. And they go, yeah, okay. And then they say, well, why? What makes you want to do that? Because they want to see if I'm serious. And then I start to tell them, well, I love reading self-help books. I'm working on at least 3 or 4 right now, and I've got this book list that's 250 books long. It's almost 300, 275 or something. And the problem is, every time I read one self-help book, then there's 3 or 4 more self-help books that I want to read, so I can't even finish the current group, much less get to the book list. It's this whole thing. And don't even get me started with motivational speeches, right? Those ones that you see on Facebook, or you see on Instagram or YouTube. I'm that guy that is constantly sharing motivational videos to your Facebook feed. I'm that guy. I'm not even ashamed. I love it. And every time I'm on YouTube, when I watch one motivational video, then there's 10 more, and I just add them to the list, right? Just like the book list. I will literally never read all of the books that I want to read, and I will never watch all of the YouTube videos that I want to watch. But that's okay. And do you ever have that moment where you're in a room, you're speaking to a large crowd of people you don't know, or sometimes people you know, and your mind is just on fire, and the words are flowing from your mouth, and the connection is just incredible. It's as though everything is just happening exactly as it's supposed to be, and the energy is so potent in that room. Or do you ever have that moment where you're talking with somebody, and you might not even know that much about them, or maybe you know a lot about them, but all you know in that moment is that something really real was just said, and you can't deny it. Those feelings are incredible. I love those feelings. I love the feeling of reading a self-help book. I love the feeling of watching a motivational video. I love talking about self-help books and motivational videos. All of it. It's great. It's amazing. It's what I like to do, right? And then people go, oh, okay, he's serious. And then they believe me. They go, okay, he does want to be a motivational speaker. He does want to be a life coach. And the questioning stops after that, which I can tell you, my parents believe me now. It's a good thing. They think I'm going to be able to pull this off. But in any case, I think there's a big problem with that. When we stop at, okay, he likes it, we're not really getting the bigger picture. Any adult in this room, and maybe even some of the more woke kids in this room, can tell you that not everything is perfect forever, right? And you can't just get involved in something because you like it, because you won't always like it. In fact, after a year of public speaking and trying to make this dream happen, putting myself on a YouTube channel, starting a blog online, posting on Instagram all the time, annoying my friends on Facebook, all of it, I've begun to realize that it's not everything I thought it would be. There aren't thousands of people listening to me. I'm not getting millions of likes on my posts. I'm not this ultra-famous motivational speaker. It's easy to fall in love with that element of it, and it's easy to fall in love with the feeling you have with those crowds when everything's going right. But is it so easy to fall in love with when you're not at that level? And when you're kind of disappointed in yourself because you didn't do everything you wanted to do? And when you don't really feel good enough about the content that you're putting out online? Can you fall in love with that disappointment? That's the real question, right? I wish a year ago when I had told my parents, Mom, Dad, I want to be a motivational speaker. Mom, Dad, I want to be a life coach. Instead of just asking me, well, why? And then being okay with it when I said that I liked it. I wish they would have gone a step further and asked me the second, more important question. I wish they would have asked me, well, what are you willing to go through for this? What are you willing to lose for this? Are you ready to not believe in yourself and to sometimes not even believe in your dream? Are you willing to go through the self-hatred, the self-doubt, the disbelief, the criticisms from others, the never being good enough? Is that dream worth it? Or in short, are you willing to hate it? That's what I think they should have asked me. And I think when we talk about doing what you love, if we can think of it in terms of those two questions, not just do I like it, but going a step further, saying yes I do like it, and then going to the next question, asking am I willing to not like it and do it anyways? That's what doing what you love should mean. I think that the most meaningful things in life have just as much bad as they do good. And even more so, I'd say that the most important things in life, the most meaningful, the most purposeful, the most fulfilling things in life, they have the same, if not exponentially more bad than they do good. The best things in life will take years and years and years and years. I mean, I'd say 5, maybe 10, or in the case of kids, I'm told it's 20, of really doubting yourself and not being sure if this was the right move, and not being sure if you actually enjoyed it like you thought it would. But at the end of the day, when you've been through something at its worst, only then are you truly able to appreciate it at its best. And maybe that's what it means to love something. So when you say, do what you love, I want you to be able to think, do what you hate. Or at least, would you be willing to hate it and love it anyways? And back to the big question, right? Will I be a motivational speaker? Will I be a life coach? I don't know. I haven't gone through all of that yet. But what I can know is this. Thank you guys for listening to me. And thank you guys for listening to my ideas. And finally, thank you guys for bringing me one speech closer to doing what I love.